4,000 years of Jewish history in just a few minutes. Let's go. It all begins with Abraham, who hears a divine call to leave his homeland and follow an unknown path. He becomes the first to believe in one God, the start of a new covenant. His son Isaac and grandson Jacob carry on the legacy. Jacob's 12 sons become the ancestors of the 12 tribes of Israel. Famine brings the family to Egypt, where over time they're enslaved. But from slavery, a leader rises, Moses. He leads the people out in the Exodus and receives the Torah at Mount Sinai, a moment that defines the Jewish people forever. After 40 years in the desert, the Israelites enter the land of Canaan. They build a society rooted in laws, justice, and spiritual purpose. King David unites the tribes and makes Jerusalem the capital. His son Solomon builds the first temple, a shining symbol of faith at the heart of Jewish life. But the kingdom splits. Weakness invites invasion. In 586 BCE, the Babylonians destroy the temple and exile the Jews to Babylon. By the rivers of Babylon they sit and weep, but they do not forget. They study, adapt, and hold on to their identity. Decades later, a remnant returns. They rebuild Jerusalem and construct the Second Temple. A new chapter begins, but not without challenges. First come the Persians, then the Greeks. Under Greek rule, the Jewish faith is threatened until the Maccabees rise up. Against the odds, they reclaim the temple. That's the story of Hanukkah. But peace doesn't last. In 70 CE, the Romans destroy the Second Temple and much of Jerusalem. A second exile begins, scattering Jews across the world, from Spain to Yemen, from Iraq to Poland. In the centuries that follow, Jewish communities face constant upheaval. There are golden ages, like in medieval Spain, where Jewish poets, scholars, and physicians flourish. But also dark times. Crusades, expulsions, forced conversions, ghettos, and pogroms. Entire communities are wiped out, rebuilt, and wiped out again. Still, the Jewish people endure. They carry their traditions from land to land, lighting Sabbath candles, studying Torah, singing ancient songs. Wherever they go, they build schools, synagogues, and homes centered on memory and hope. In the 1700s and 1800s, the world begins to shift. The Enlightenment opens doors. Some Jews embrace modern ideas, others cling tightly to tradition. A new dream takes root, Zionism, the vision of returning to their ancestral homeland. Theodor Herzl, a journalist from Vienna, becomes its voice. He says, "If you will it, it is no dream." Jews begin returning to the land of Israel. Then, under Ottoman rule, to farm, to build, to live. They create new villages, revive the Hebrew language, and reconnect with the soil of their ancestors. But the world is on fire. In the 20th century, anti-Semitism turns catastrophic. The Holocaust. 6 million Jews, men, women, children, are murdered by the Nazis. Entire towns are erased. Torah scrolls are burned. Generations are lost. Jews were stripped of their rights, rounded up like cattle, and forced into ghettos, camps, and death trains, marked only by a yellow star. Yet even in the ashes, there is resistance. In ghettos and camps, Jews smuggle books, sing in secret, and fight when they can. Survivors emerge carrying scars and memories, and a will to live. In 1948, just 3 years after the Holocaust, the unthinkable happens. The State of Israel is born. For the first time in nearly 2,000 years, the Jewish people have sovereignty in their ancient homeland. David Ben-Gurion stands in Tel Aviv and declares independence. Jews from every corner of the earth return, from Yemen, from Morocco, from Russia, from Ethiopia. But building a nation is not easy. Israel faces war in its first year, and many times after. Yet it grows. Cities rise from the sand, farmland blooms from the desert, Hebrew becomes a living language again. Jewish culture, religion, and innovation flourish side by side. Today, the Jewish people are as global as ever. In New York, Paris, Jerusalem, Melbourne, Johannesburg, Buenos Aires, they carry with them thousands of years of memory, and the belief that the past shapes the future. And through it all, joy and grief, triumph and tragedy, the Jewish story continues. From Abraham to now, from ancient scrolls to startup hubs, from Babylonian exile to modern Israel, it is a story of resilience, vision, and hope. This isn't just history, it's a living story. still being written. If you found this journey meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and help keep history alive.